Hello everyone, my name is Egidio, and welcome to our overview about the Project1, the wiki, from Harvard's course CS50Web Programming with Python and JavaScript. Today we'll talk about the development of the Project1, using my project as an example, how to attend the specification in a way that you can develop your project by yourself. And click on the page on the description to get the 3 steps you can take to become a web developer without a degree. So let's see the project first. We have the index page where we can access all the pages. So for example, we have the CSS. If we click on the page, we'll see all the content written about the CSS technology, and we can edit this page. So we can alter the content. For example, edit it, and here it is. If you can see, the content of the page is written using the Markdown language. We have the index page, we can access all the pages, we can create new ones like these, and we can also access random pages just clicking on this button. In the end, we can search for the pages. We can type, for example, the exact word for the page, and we go directly to it. Otherwise, if we search, for example, CS, we can see all the pages that has this substring in its title. So here it is. And that's it. So let's check the specification to understand how this works in the code. So the enter page, we must use this kind of URL using the title as part of the path. We should get all the pages of this encyclopedia using the function in this file. So let's see this. Well, first we'll go to the urls.py file, and you can see here that here is the path to our pages. I capture this variable here, and I call this method views.entry. So if you go to the views.entry, you can see here that we use this function to get the page. And if we check this function here, get entry, the function will try to get this entry in our folder here. And if there's no such file, if there's no such page, it will return none. So in the method, if we get a none, we will render this template, the non-existing entry. And this template is like this, for example. And that's my not found page. But if we find a specific page, we render the entry template. We put the title here as a parameter, and also the entry, the content itself, we need to convert the markdown to the HTML content. And this is done using this conversion. And then the content is converted. And as we are putting HTML content inside a variable, we need to tell the Django template language to accept this HTML content as a safe content. This is a security step that Django has. We can tell Django, okay, don't worry about this, it's a safe content. Talking about the index page, we already have an index page when we download the distribution code, but the idea here is to make it capable of sending us to the page itself. So you can see here that we have a link to the page. And how does that work? When we render the index function, we just bring all the lists. And if we check again the path to view a specific entry, we just need to tell the title of the page. So we are already sending the titles we have. And now what we just need to do is to build this link to these pages. So what we do in the index, we have a loop for each entry. Here's the list item we have there. Here's the entry title. And what we do, here we have this link. And I already built this link here. So /wiki/ and the title of the page. To search the content, we have these 3 requirements. if we search a specific match, so I searched CSS and there is a title called CSS exactly, we should go directly to the page. If there is no specific match, we can use it as a substring. So if we search like Py, we can find the Python page as an example. And when we click in the result, it's the same as the index. We will go to the page. When we use the search method, here we have the URL we use, and the words we typed there, they are sent as a query parameter. So we will capture it as a get method. Here in the views.py file, in the search method, the first thing we do is to capture this query parameter, where we have the values we typed, and then we check if there is a page with the title exactly like as we typed. So if I type CSS and I put here, get me the entry called CSS. If there it is, well, it will not be none. So we will render this entry directly. Otherwise, we'll create a list with all the entries that have this value inside the title of the entry. So for each entry in the list, for each of these entries, we'll compare if the value we've typed is part of this title. So if something in, it means like if this is a substring of this string. And the upper is to ignore some case sensitive. So for example, if I typed CS and there in the entry the title is CS, they wouldn't be the same. The C and the capital C are different. So we just use this upper method to avoid this kind of error. And if it is a substring, we'll just add this entry to our list. And in the end, we will render the same index page, but showing only these entries that have our value as a substring. I have this flag to say that it's not the common index view, it's a search view, and the value we typed will be sent here. And this is the search part. And now talking about a new page. We can create new pages. We'll type the title of the page, and in a text area, so that big block, we'll create the page using Markdown. If the title already exists, we should bring an error message. And if it's a new page, we'll save it and we'll go to this page after saved. So let's create a page here. We'll call Java, and this is my Java page. Let's submit, and here it is. This is my Java page. So first, let's check our form. Here we are working with 3 fields: the title, the content, and a flag to say if we are editing or if it's a new page. So here I put some of the arguments, the same for the content, some style here, and the edit will be a hidden input. So it'll be our control of what is happening there in the page. When we go to the new entry method, we have the rules when it's a post, so when we are really sending a new entry. Otherwise, we'll just render the new entry page. We'll send a new instance of this class, the new entry form, and this parameter, the existing, it will be responsible for showing or not the error that, oh, this page already exists. And when we send the form, we check if it's valid. If it is, we capture the information, and then we check if that page exists. If it doesn't exist, or if we are editing this page, we'll save it and we'll go to this page, the new one or the edited one. Otherwise, if it's not new and we are not editing, we'll return the form, we'll return the entry, and we'll say, sorry, this page already exists. And in the new entry, we can see here, we have this alert. This entry already exists. So if we try here CSS and we type something, here's the message. When we talk about editing a page, we can click on a button to edit the page, where we can edit the content, the markdown content. We should bring that content to the text area. We can save it, and after saved, we'll go again to the enter page. So when we edit a page, we use the same path, but in the end we will add this /edit. So we can capture the entry we are editing, we capture it. If it doesn't exist, we'll give an error message. Otherwise, we'll create a new form. We will fill some of the fields with the information we already have. So the title, as we cannot edit the title, we will hide it. We will add the content of the page, and we will put the flag, the edit flag, as a true. So now we are rendering that new entry page, but now we are rendering it to edit an existing page. So it's the same page, but we are sending some flags to tell the page, okay, now we are editing. This page already exists. Here is the form with all the information already filled. We are saying that it will be edited, and here is the title. So when we click to edit, you can see that we inform that we are editing this page, and here is the content. When we submit this page to be edited, we don't use this method anymore. We go back to the new entry method, because this method understands when the page exists and it's being edited. The random page button just brings all the entries and choose one of them and call directly that page to be rendered. For this, we had to import these secrets. This is responsible for choosing something randomly. And the conversion itself, we've used it using Markdown too. You have to install it in your computer to do this in your project. And we have mentioned here its use when we are rendering a specific page. Imported here. Here we are calling this object, and in the end, we are using it to convert the Markdown to the HTML content of the entry. So that's it for the video, guys. If you have any questions, you can send a message here in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video.